Hi, my name is Amy Miracle, and I am going to be reviewing the Cricut Explore Air 2. I purchased this Black Friday of 2021. I've looked at these, and typically they're around probably $250 to $300. Joann Fabrics actually had a screaming deal where it was the Cricut Explore Air 2 bundle for $149. So that's why I purchased this. It was a great buy in my opinion. I've had a lot of fun getting to know the machine and try some new projects. So I hope this review will help you in making a decision on whether or not to buy a Cricut. So this is the Cricut Explore Air 2 bundle that I picked up at Joann Fabrics on Black Friday. Okay, so before we get to the machine itself, here is what is in the box with the bundle. You have the light grit mat, a 12 by 12 mat, the booklet that comes with it, a quick start guide, a trial pack of 6 sheets of everyday vinyl, 12 sheets of iron-on, your USB cord, and then you've got your weeding tools. You've got the squeegee tool, and then you've got all of the different tools that you could need for weeding your projects and everything. You've also got the pen for doing the writing projects. And then when you open the machine, all you have to do is plug it in and then get it hooked up to your phone and the internet, and your machine is set up. This is how it comes. It does have some wrapping on the machine that I already took off. It has that little sponge thing to protect the blade. The blade that comes with it is already in here. Okay, so what you're going to look for in the App Store is the Cricut Design Space. Now I've already downloaded it, so we're going to go ahead and open it. And then what you're going to do is do the machine setup. Now I've already done this on my iPhone, but this is for me downloading it on my iPad for the first time. Okay, so you would either create an account or you would sign in. So I already had my account, I signed in with my credentials, and so then you just pick whatever machine that you have, and we have the Air 2, so we're going to do the Cricut Explore family. Plug it in, power it on. So this is the Cricut Design app, Design Space app, and I would highly recommend going ahead and downloading this app and playing around with it and creating projects before you even get a machine, because this is where you're really going to need to get used to everything. It comes with projects that are already done. Some are free, some you have to pay for. It also comes with a whole library of fonts and clip art, and so you can go in and you can see this is your design space. It's set up just like your mat with the measurements there, and so you can do text, and it's pulling up. It's got different ones, and you can see there's prices here. You can do your system fonts, which are already done. So let's do Chalk Duster. You can get it and drag it around, make it bigger, all those different things. And so then, let's do images, and again, there's a bunch of images that you can pay for. There are some that are free. It'll tell you the prices, and if you're using the Apple products, it would just go to your Apple Pay, anything like that. And so let's just do a free one real quick. So we're going to do that, and then you go down here and you hit insert, and it inserts the stuff. So you can play around with that and create things in here. But what I'm going to do is actually go in to a project I already created. So my project's in the cloud. And so I've done a couple of different ones. I did this one for some friends for Christmas. I'll post a picture of those. They were ornaments that I did. And those I created completely on my own. I just used a free clip art of the coffee mug. Other than that, it was just free fonts. This one was for another bandana for my dog for Valentine's Day. And I'll show you the finished project in the video. But what I'm doing today is this one here. So I've already created this, so we're gonna do customize, and that'll just bring it up. We're gonna replace that one. So this is one that I already created in the design space. So I've got this set at an 8x8 square. And there's so much that goes into this, which is why I recommend playing around with it. And I've already done this, so I'm not going to talk about that. But you can do YouTube tutorials to figure out how to do all of this in the design space. So once you've got everything set up the way you want it, we're going to do Make It. So this brings it up, and this is showing you on your mat. So we're going to do Operation Basic Cut. Material size, you can do a different material size. I am actually just going to leave it the 12 by 12. It won't make any difference. And then since I'm doing this with an iron-on material to put on a bandana, you're going to want to make sure to hit this, and it automatically mirrors it for when you're ironing it on. So we've already got that. So then we're going to hit next. That there is a iron-on and vinyl presetting, but that's for very basic materials. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into this, and you're going to, I've turned it to custom. So we're going to do all materials. And so then what I'm going to do is search iron-on. And for this project, I'm actually just using the Everyday Iron-On Gold Matte. And this one is pretty easy to do, and probably could leave it on the regular setting for iron-on for the pre-cut settings. But if I were doing something with, like, say, this, the glitter iron-on, then you would want to definitely make sure to go in to this, and you would go right up here to the glitter iron-on, and that would have your settings. So it would have your load tools and mat. But the other thing I realized, again, I was doing this with the glitter vinyl, so I had to go in and find the specific glitter vinyl. And then you're also going to want to go to pressure. And so it's already set at a default pressure. What I did was go with the more pressure for the glitter iron-on. But again, we're just doing the Everyday Iron-On this time. So I had this set for 8x8, and I actually cut probably more closer to a 9x9. Want it pretty good. And then you're going to take this, and you're just going to try and get all of the bubbles out. I'm not sure if you can see that. There are some bubbles in here, so again, just gonna play around with it, see if I can get those bubbles out, and just work till it gets to the end. There we go. So this is pretty good. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly flat or anything. So we've got our iron-on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and load it in the machine. And if you remember right, let me see if I can do this without moving everything. We moved it to custom, set up everything in our app here. We've got everything loaded. I'm gonna push that button that just loads the mat in. Okay, and then it tells you to go ahead and press go. Move this up a little bit so you can see the machine, hopefully. And we're gonna go ahead and hit the start button. And what we didn't want, which it didn't, is on the shiny part, we did not want it to cut through that. We just wanted it to cut through the actual iron-on part. So the more pressure actually worked well for this. Go ahead and try to get this starting to peel off. Again, this is probably the hardest part of this, is just getting it started. Okay, so you're starting to separate the material itself from this sheet. And so what we want to do is we want to have all of the wording and such stay on the clear piece. So we're just going to start pulling this. And if it's cut really well, you shouldn't have to do too much work. It's just a matter of peeling it carefully. And what I also had to learn with this was choosing your designs and your fonts wisely. Of course, the smaller and the more intricate, the harder it's going to be to do this. So I would definitely start out with something a little easier when you're first trying to do a project. But you'll see that we just keep pulling little by little, and then the actual weeding will take place when we have to get the parts out of the insides of the letters and such. Okay, so there we go. And then this is the part that's really going to be your weeding. So you just want to kind of get that in there and start pulling these out. And that's where, you know, you've got your two sets of like gigantic tweezers. Those would come in handy if they're lots smaller. And so you just, you know, for me, it's kind of therapeutic to do this, but maybe not for somebody who doesn't have a lot of patience, but you definitely want to have patience when doing this. Otherwise, you could mess up. And you also want to be careful and not peel off something that's supposed to stay on, because that gets hard to try and put everything back where it should be. Actually going to use these real quick. That I've done. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to do right out of the box, and I hope this helps and encourages people to try the Cricut.